Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. We are back. I had to make sure my phone was on Do Not Disturb because it seems like I'm the only person on earth when someone calls me when I'm live, it cuts off my sound. But everybody else, it cuts it off and it turns it back on. Anywho, welcome. So if you are new to my page, I would like to welcome you to the land of love. My name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. Again, if you are new, I want to welcome you. So please go ahead and put in the comments your name and where you are from so that we can appropriately welcome you to the land of love. I want to welcome you to the land of love. If you would like to receive alerts as to when I go live, I would like for you to text the word align. Text the word align, ALIGN, to the following phone number. And I gotta look at my bio because I don't remember the damn number. They made me change my number. They made all of us change our number to like a full-on number. So text the word align to, and someone help me out and put in the comments, 888-900-5447. If you want to receive alerts of when I go live, if you want to receive free resources, free trainings, free ebooks, discounts on my masterclasses, my coaching programs. Thank you, Faith. It is 888-900-5447. Text the word align to 888-900-5447. You can screenshot this right now while the number's still on the screen. And then after we're done with the live, then you could go ahead and send that text. Welcome to Michelle from New York City / Connecticut. Michelle, where you from? You from New York City or you from Connecticut, girl? You got to pick a side. Welcome. Somebody else, Coco from New Jersey. Thank you. Roger from the DMV. I'm so glad that you've decided to join. Thank you to everyone else who has joined. Dan, your rich auntie. She's Breaking Bad. All smiles. Danny, so beautiful. Natural Nanico. I hope I got that right. I want to thank you all for coming in. Over Happy 22 and all those who are still coming in now. Felix, welcome from Houston. Who else do we have here? Haley from Florida with a smile. Hey, Haley, it's raining here and I'm very sad. King B62 from Brooklyn. All right, beautiful people. We have a ton of questions, and Giselle from Queens. We have a ton of questions and extremely limited time, as I do have a group session that starts in exactly 45 minutes. And so we need to jump right into this. Welcome, Ashley from Tampa, and somebody from Cali is being shady. Greetings from Cali with her son, knowing it's cold and sad and pathetic here, and I don't want to be here. I don't. I'm moving to Texas. I decided that today. I gotta talk to my husband. Anywho, let us jump right in. So how does the live Q&A work? Every Tuesday around this time, I post this story. It's the same story every week. It's a green story with me in a green shirt because that's my brand colors. And I'm pointing like, I'm thinking. And it says, I'm going live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Drop your question here. This is how I remain organized. I do not take questions in the comments. If there is time, I will take someone live, but I need to be organized. So I take my questions directly from the story. So that is how you can get your question answered for free. If you cannot wait until next week, or if you feel like my answer is incomplete because I'm lacking context, you can click the link in my bio and you can go ahead and schedule a session. But if you want the free, this is a service I provide to the community every single week. That's how you do it. Got to follow the rules in order to get the free services. Okay, so let us jump right in because we had a ton of questions. The first question, is it a red flag? Is it a red flag if after one date, a guy says he would like to date exclusively? Is it a red flag if after one date, a guy says he would like to date exclusively? So that is too fast for me, because I think it's fair that before I'm in a committed relationship, and that's how I'm defining exclusively dating. When someone says exclusively dating, I'm going to say that means that we are not seeing anybody else. We're the only two who are seeing each other. We're in a committed relationship. And I don't think that one date or 2 hours of spending time with someone is a reasonable amount of time to decide that we should be in a committed relationship. When someone is in a committed relationship, unless they are, I'm at a loss for words. I would assume that lots of adults have sex with the people they're in committed relationships with, right? So that means that if I say yes to this guy who asked me to be his exclusive girlfriend on the first date, that means within 2 hours, the expectation is that we're sexual. That means within 2 hours, we are meeting friends and family. For me, I would say that one date is not enough time for me to assess whether or not I want to be in a committed relationship with someone. I don't know if I call it a red flag or not, but I know that for me, I would not commit to someone after one date. I would not, nor would I recommend it. The purpose of dating, as I saw someone in the comments, isn't that the intent. The intent, intentional dating, would be for me that I would know what I want, which for me would be marriage, a family, children, a house, moving to Texas. I can't take this rain, right? That's my intention. And so anytime I go out on a date with a gentleman, it's because I am under the very temporary impression that this person seemingly has what I want or what I'm looking for. And then the dating process is me gathering more information around that. I'm asking questions. We're spending quality time. He's asking questions. He's spending quality time to assess if I'm a good match for him. And then down the line, we could decide to commit. So we're still intentional dating. And just because I'm intentional dating doesn't mean that you have to become my girlfriend or my boyfriend after 2 hours. So I hear you. Yes, we're intentional. But that does not mean that I am going to commit to someone that I absolutely do not know. That is wild. Okay? Okay. Next one. Who should pay for the first date? Friends think, and this is a woman, friends think I should not expect the guy to pay. Who should pay on the first date? Friends think I should not expect the guy to pay. Okay, so I've shared this publicly, and it's been shared and viewed many a times. My opinion is that whoever asks to go out on the date should be the person who pays. So if a gentleman were to ask me out on a date and say, hey Al, what are you doing on Friday? I want to check out this movie. Hey Al, there's this new restaurant that's downtown Brooklyn and I want to give it a try. Are you available? I'd like to take you, right? If someone asks me, and you know what, I'll be honest with you, if even my friends, like I have a tradition with my friend Paris. Every time we go on vacation, right after the vacation, we go to Footprints, which is a restaurant in Brooklyn, and we do a whole rehash of how the entire vacation was, right? Like, I mean, you could split with your friends, but there's like you ask me. Like if you ask me, my expectation is that that person pays. So I would say that if a woman is asking a man on a date, which we can talk about whether or not that's appropriate, whether or not you feel comfortable, that's another story for another day. But if the woman is the one who's asking the gentleman out on the date, then I would expect that woman to expect to pay. I would expect that woman to anticipate carrying the bill and not necessarily being judgmental if the gentleman allows her to pay. Now, what I'd like to see in a perfect world is that if a woman asked a man out on a date, he was inclined to go, he actually likes her, they go and the check comes out and she attempts to pay and then he says no and he takes care of it. That would be nice, but that's not an obligation. So my opinion is whoever asks is the person who should pay. Now between me and the 100 of y'all that are on this live right now and 1,000 who may watch, I'm not asking nobody on no date. I'm not asking nobody out on no date. I'm always prepared to pay. I always have my debit, my credit card, my ID. I make sure that my balance is solid. I'm not much of a drinker, so I know that my bill is not going to be outrageous. But I'm not asking. I'm going to put myself in a position to engage in conversation. I am going to be, if I was a single woman, perhaps flirtatious to make it clear to the gentleman that I'm interested in him romantically. There's not going to be a, does she like me? Does she like me? Does she not like me? Like, it'll be very clear that I like you, but I'm not asking. Slim says, if he doesn't ask, plus he doesn't pay, then there probably wouldn't be a second date. I would agree. Grace says, I don't ask either. No thanks. I agree. But again, I'm not against it. I'm just saying that's just not what I'm doing, right? Slim says, see, I'm old school. I want the man to ask. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But please make sure that you're not giving mixed signals. Like, this gentleman should be clear that you're actually romantically interested in him, because no one wants to risk the investment, both financial and time, on someone who they're unsure of. So you should make it clear. And there's nothing wrong with being flirtatious. Right? I'm not saying you got to tongue them down and in the parking lot, but you should be flirtatious. The gentleman should be clear that you are interested in him romantically, so then for him to ask you out on a date is not outrageous and it's not too risky. Does that make sense? We have someone who says, I just went through a horrible experience last week where a guy tried to leave me with the bill on our first time meeting. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Okay, but it happens. And the next time, then that means that perhaps you need to have more conversation. There needs to be more phone calls, more FaceTime, more text messages before you just go out on the date. Many times, and I find this with more men than women, but it's not an exclusive man thing, right? Is that men will tend to say that they want to go on a date pretty quickly. Like, they meet you and then they want to take you on a date tomorrow. I would be wary. I want to spend a little bit more time getting to know you first before I go out on a physical date with anybody, because as you said, you could get run out on, okay? Next question. He proposed, says he did it to show commitment, but isn't ready for marriage. And then said, what would Jesus do? He proposed, says he did it to show commitment, but isn't ready for marriage. What would Jesus do? So I don't know what Jesus would do, because I don't think anybody was asking for Jesus's hand in marriage. I'm going to change that to what would align with Alison do, okay? So there's a couple of questions here that would direct my answer. So the first thing is, I need to know how old you guys are, right? If this is a 25-year-old gentleman who's asking for your hand in marriage, he's invested some kind of money into a ring to let you know and to show you his level of commitment, but says, because what I'm reading it is as he wants a long engagement, right? If he's a 25-year-old gentleman and he says he loves you, he wants to commit to you, he's purchased you a ring, he's gotten down on one knee, and he says, I'm doing this because I want to show you how the level of commitment I have for you, but marriage in itself, I'm not exactly ready for. As a younger couple, I would not have a problem with that. Right? I would also ask, well, when do you think you'll be ready? Like, what? Let me take a step back. I would ask, why don't you feel ready now? Like, if you're prepared to invest $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 in a ring to show me a level of commitment, then what is holding you back from actually walking down the aisle? What is holding you back from the legal standpoint of being married? I want to know. I'm asking questions. So I'm not immediately running away because, oh my God, he never wants to marry me and he's just playing games. Not immediately. We need to dig. We need to ask some questions. Number one, how old is this couple? Number two, how long have they been together? Number three, do you feel like you've been pressuring him? Or let me correct that. Could it be construed that you've been pressuring him? So could it be that the ring is a shut up ring, right? Or is this an idea that 100% organically came from him? Why does he feel like there's a grave difference between fiance and husband? And how long does he think he'll need, or what needs to happen in order for him to feel prepared? This is a whole long conversation. This is not, he asked me for my hand in marriage, but he said he's not ready. I think he's bullshitting me, so I'm going to run. I would not do that. If this person seems genuine, but they have concerns about the institution of marriage, you've had some time together, there's no reason for you to question their intent, I'd have conversations with these people. I need to know what's going on. What are your concerns? What's holding you back? What can I do to help rectify this so you feel more comfortable? What's a reasonable amount of time that you think that you would be ready? If it's a time issue, if it's a finance issue, we need to get down to this. So there are no hard and fast answers. I'm sorry, baby love. Okay, but that's what I would advise. All of those questions is what I would advise you to ask your partner, and not just run away because it's an uncomfortable situation for you. Okay, welcome everybody who is joining the live. My name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. So Every Tuesday around this time, I drop this green story. It looks the same way every single week, and it gives folks the opportunity to drop their questions that I answer here live for free. That is the only way that I answer questions. I do not answer questions in the question queue. I see questions in the queue. I love you. I'm not answering it. You have two options. You can wait till next week and drop it in the story so I can stay organized and I can monitor my time appropriately. Or you can click the link in my bio and you can book an alignment session, 30 minutes or 60 minutes, your choice. All right, let's keep it moving. Why do men think they can come in and out of your life? What attracts this type of man? Why do men think they can come in and out of your life? What attracts this type of man? So I'm really glad that this young woman was able to throw in question 2, because question 1 makes it seem like it's all men who are problematic, who are in and out of all women's lives. And then question 2 says, what attracts that type of man? Take some accountability on maybe there's something that I'm doing, or more importantly or more accurately, maybe there's something that you are allowing, because men don't walk in and out of my life. They walk in, they've walked out, and I've chosen to keep them out. Emphasis on chosen. So this isn't an issue of men innately are the types of beings who like to be revolving doors, right? This is an issue of the individual allowing certain people to have access to them beyond when they should. It is a lack of healthy boundaries, according to Pretentious Kells, and I would agree. If someone has made it clear to you that they are no longer interested in you romantically, it is your responsibility to keep that door closed. You and only you. It is not their job to maintain your boundary. So if they said with their own mouth, I am not interested in you anymore, I don't love you anymore, I don't think this is going to work, anything along those lines, then it's now your responsibility to say goodbye and keep the door closed. If you allow them back in, because I'm sure they're not kicking the door, waving the 4-4s March 9th, right? Then that is on you. So you have to make a choice to say, this person has made it clear to me, either by their words, which is great, but sometimes we don't get that. But more importantly, their behaviors, lying, cheating, being deceitful, being distant, not willing to work out their issues, not willing to seek therapy, not willing. They've either shown you with their words or their actions that they don't want to be with you, which guess what? It's okay. It's okay they don't want to be with you. They may be doing you a favor, right? So you need to decide that this relationship no longer serves me. This person no longer wants to be with me. And as a result, I'm going to close this door to them and not allow them access anymore. But if you allow them access, whose fault is that? Not theirs. And it's not in a man's nature. I think it's in people's nature to try to get back in with someone who they have something with, or had something with, or there's some value that they can extract from that person. But I will tell you this, para mí, Alison, right? The door's closed, the door's closed. Good luck, Chuck. And you'll find someone who's greater and nicer and prettier and smarter and richer, and good luck to you. But you're not coming back here. You're not coming back here. Okay? Next question. A guy I dated showed through action he doesn't want me. I'm nervous to delete his gram. A guy I dated showed through action he doesn't want me. We just talked about that, so I'm glad that you can recognize that, right? I'm nervous to delete his gram. Why? Unfortunately, I really do need more context. Like, why? What is the fear? If this gentleman has made it clear to you through his words or his actions that he's not interested in you romantically, then where's the problem here? You can mute him. He would never know the difference, and you don't see it. So that's like the equivalent of deleting without deleting. But even if you removed him as a follower, what is he going to do? Is he a criminal? Is he a part of the mafia? Is he a part, like, what is he going to do to you if you delete it? What's the nervousness for? What does removing the profile do to your relationship that his actions haven't already done? You can always follow somebody really quickly, click follow, right? But you can't undo actions that someone has done against you. So what's the big deal? If it's that serious, mute it. He won't know, you don't see, it's the equivalent. But I don't even see what the big deal is. Just remove it. Come on now, stop playing. We making things way more complicated than what it needs to be. Recommendations on how a woman should shoot her shot at a man. Okay, this is an excellent question. Recommendations on how a woman should shoot her shot at a man. So for me, I am not, and I'm just talking about what my level of comfort is, right? In my experience in my 35 years. I am not experienced enough for me to go up to a gentleman and say, hello, my name is Alison. I find you attractive. I'd like your phone number. Can we talk? I don't have that experience, right? But to piggyback off of what I said earlier, what I would say is that if a gentleman is in my space, we work together, we go to the gym together, there's some way that I can communicate, I would be flirtatious. I'm going to tell him that he looks handsome. I like the way that he looks today. And whatever other flirtatious wiles I have, like, I'm going to use that as my way of shooting my shot so that it's clear that I'm interested in him romantically. But at the same time, I'm not saying, yo, son, what's up? Give me your number. I want to take you out on a date. I'm not doing that. I'm not. And my understanding is that there may be a lot of gentlemen who don't necessarily feel comfortable with doing that, right? Like the old saying is that men like to chase. So what I would do is a nice in between. I'm not going to act like a shy schoolgirl, like I'm just interested in you and sexuality altogether, but I'm also not going to chase you down. If we're in the same space, then I am going to be flirtatious, and I would hope that this gentleman is able to pick up on those very basic social skills, and then he might ask for a number exchange or what have you. Now, if we're on a dating app, I would simply do an introduction. Hi, James. My name is Alison. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hi, James. I see on your profile that you recently went whitewater rafting. That looks so exciting. Can you tell me more about that? Like, it will just be a conversation, because on dating apps, if you're talking, that means that you already think that you kind of like each other, right? Like, we're both here for romantic reasons. So if I engage with you, that is me shooting my shot. There's nobody on dating apps who's sending messages just to send a message. Like, you're sending a message because you checked out the profile and you like what you saw. So that would be shooting a shot enough for me. Okay? How to handle bitter baby daddy baggage. How to handle bitter baby daddy baggage. So I read this like 4 times, and I still have not gathered whether or not the baby daddy is bitter and is making life difficult for her, or if she's bitter over the baby daddy. So I'm going to answer both of those very quickly. How to handle bitter baby daddy baggage. I'm going to go with the assumption she's talking about he's bitter. He's bitter. He wants to get back with her. Things are not working out in his favor. And how does she deal? That's what I'm going to assume. So let's go with that. If I were in a situation where I had a baby daddy and he wanted to get back with me and he made my life difficult because I wasn't giving him another opportunity, then there's 2 things to do. The first step would be to have conversations around making it very clear that you're disinterested. That also means you cannot sleep with him at all. There cannot be any family vacations for now. There cannot be any family time where we're hugged up on a couch watching the baby's favorite Disney movie. Like, you have to make those boundaries so clear so that eventually this person understands that there are no romantic opportunities, and the only reason we communicate is because of the children or child involved. Very hard. So you cannot be in a position where you're being flirtatious, where you're talking about anything other than the child, where you are still having sex with this person, even if it's once a month, once a year, once every 10 years. You cannot blur the lines. No, we're not going to Disney together, like, because he can't handle it. Yes, no encanto. It's not happening, right? So we need to make it abundantly clear that this romantic thing is over, and you only communicate about the child, and you do so in a respectful time frame, right? Like if it's for children because of school, I'm going to say like 7 a.m. and then for bedtime, like 7 or 8 p.m., right? Only about the child. You make it super clear. Now, after a couple of months of this practice of strong boundaries, no wavering, right? If this person still is not getting the hint, then I would reach out to a mental health professional. So if that means that that is a parenting coach, if that means that's a family therapist, someone needs to interject because you are not being the best version of you as an individual, as a mom, as a whatever, because of the pressures of this person and they're not catching the hint. Then you need a professional to get involved in a situation because clearly you're unable to do so on your own. If it's harassment, and I hate to say this out loud, especially as a Black woman, if we're getting to the point of harassment, then perhaps the police and the courts need to become involved. If it's that bad, I would want to avoid the police at all costs, especially if we're assuming that this is a Black father, because I don't want Black men to have to unnecessarily engage with the police. But if I feel like I'm in danger, then sometimes we do have to take that step. Okay? So that's the way that I think I understood this question. If it's the other way and you have the baggage and you're bitter over your baby daddy, you need to go to therapy, you need to work it out, you need to move on. It's over. Suck it up. It's over. Suck it up. And get some professional help if you can't do it on your own. But I think it's the other way that you meant, and I hope that I answered your question. All right? We are pressed for time, y'all. Woo. We are not going to get through all these questions today. I'm so sorry. Not exclusively dating. Asked me what I want. How do I say I want a relationship without scaring him off? Oh my God. I love y'all, but y'all cannot be for real. I don't care if he's scared off. If he's scared off, it's because he doesn't want a commitment or he doesn't want a commitment with you. Either way it goes, I would much rather him be scared now than me hold off on the conversation. More emotions are involved. Perhaps we're now sexually intimate. Now I got an extra body, whether or not we care about the body count. Nobody wants more than what we intend, right? Emotions, finances. You better ask right now. You better ask right now. You better ask right now. And if he's scared off because this gentleman is afraid of commitment, we need to know that now. If he's scared off because he's not interested in you in particular, which is his right. Everybody don't have to love you. You're not made for everybody. You don't love everybody. You don't give every guy a chance. So every guy don't have to give you a chance. It's okay. Rejection is okay. Rejection sometimes is a gift. Then it's okay. But you gotta tell him now. This is what I'm looking for in my life. Right now in my life, this is what I want. I am dating for the purpose of. Are you? This should have been figured out a long time ago. This should have been figured out a long time ago. If he is afraid, then that means he doesn't want you or a commitment. And let's find that out tonight. Stop playing. Find it out tonight. Let's not waste another day with not knowing where you stand with this gentleman and what his intentions are, at least what he's telling you. If this guy blatantly tells you that he's not into you and not into relationships, you have your answer. If you decide to still give him access to you, whatever happens thereafter is on you. Whatever happens thereafter is on you. You have to decide what you want and then move accordingly. Okay? I can't find quality men in my area. I can't find quality men in my area. Should I consider relocating? Should I consider relocating? I would not recommend picking up and moving because you are having a hard time finding a man in your area. I would not relocate. I would not drop everything. I don't know your circumstance. I don't know if you have family in your city. I don't know if you work remotely, but I would not uproot my entire life in the hope that another city has what I'm looking for. Now, if it's already convenient to you, if you're like me, you're in New York and you're tired of the cold, if you've always wanted to be a star and you want to move to New York or LA anyway, then okay, move for yourself. But I would not recommend uprooting your entire life in the hopes that you find someone somewhere else. What I would recommend is you check out my last live. I have on an orange dress. It's just like from 2 days ago, where I talk about where to find men or singles in your city. Check out the live. It's 35 minutes long. And after you have exhausted all spaces, then we can have a conversation about driving to the next city. Maybe you need to get in your car and your gas prices is high. So what? What matters more? Your love life, your family, your legacy, or $5 gallons of gas? And you could decide, right? But when I absolutely would not uproot my entire life in the hopes of finding someone else. Now, if you told me you were in a long distance relationship and it was committed and it was looking good, and now you want to consider moving to see this person and it's not outrageously detrimental to your career, move. Take the chance. Chance on love. Not we gonna see if the dudes there are any better. And then if they're not, then what? Who you mad at? Okay, I'm going to take 2 more questions. After using a dating coach for X amount of months, how soon after would you say I would meet a match? After using a dating coach for X amount of months, how soon after would you say I would meet a match? So this is right in my direct industry, so I'm so glad that you asked this question. So the first thing is, who's your dating coach? We're all not made the same. We all don't offer the same advice. We all are not as particular about holding folks and individuals accountable for their own actions or behaviors. We're not all very particular about you being reflective and honest about who you are, how you present, and what you're looking for. So I can't answer that question on a dating coach because it depends on how good your dating coach is. Right? That's like asking how long would it take for, I don't know, somebody help me out, some kind of athlete to win a ring. I don't know. What does the team look like? What do the facilities look like? Who's his coach? There's lots of questions behind this. So after using a dating coach for X amount of months, how soon after would you say I would meet a match? Let me answer this for me, because I can't say the caliber of the coach that you have. And I can tell you it's not me, okay? So for me, there's still no hard and fast answers because some people pay their money to a coach thinking that a man or a woman is going to fall into their lap without doing the work. I have clients who show up to class or to a session and don't do their homework. I have clients who show up and they don't to session and they don't go out. They don't go on the dating apps. They don't do what they're supposed to do. I have folks who have paid me thousands of dollars and they stop booking their sessions for whatever reason. I follow up. I do my due diligence. So it all depends on the work and the effort that the individual chooses to put into a program that works. So it's 2 parts. It all depends on the work and the effort that the individual chooses to put into a program that works. So we have to make sure that the program and the coach that you choose, that their techniques actually work. Do they have testimonials? Do they have people who are willing to share that this coach was the bee's knees, that they helped them to get to their goals, whatever that looks like? Family, children, engagement, commitment, a boyfriend, and they haven't had a boyfriend in 10 years, a date, and they haven't had a date in 5 years, gaining confidence. Do you have proof and evidence that this person is delivering on what they say that they're going to deliver on? And then are you doing the work that they tell you to do? A teacher is only as good as its students, and a student will only perform as well as a teacher is capable to teach them. So it's a 2-way street. I can tell you, for me, I've had clients who have been in a committed relationship by the end of the 8 weeks in our 6-month program. So my 6-month program is the partner you deserve. The first 8 weeks we do an intensive. We meet once a week for about an hour, and we go through a very structured curriculum that has daily homework, right? And then I offer 4 months of support. They have my personal phone number. They reach out to me anytime they have any question about anything. They ain't got to wait till Wednesday. right? Because they paid their money, right? So I've had clients who have been in a committed relationship by the end of the 8 weeks. I have clients who have gone on a date for the first time in 5 years at the end of the 8 weeks. I have clients who, no call, no show. I haven't seen them in months and they paid me up front and top dollar. So the results are going to vary, all dependent on how much work you're putting into the program and whether or not the program itself reaps results. And the way that you can assess whether or not the program is successful is by listening to the person's live streams, checking out their posts. Are they in alignment with what you believe in? Or is what they're saying reasonable? Do they live a life that they're teaching you? I know some coaches ain't gonna like that. You can't be a business coach teaching people how to make $100,000 a year and you're not making $100,000 a year. You cannot be, in my opinion, a successful relationship coach unless you're in a successful relationship. I wouldn't hire a trainer who was obese, right? Like, that's logical. And I wouldn't let anybody do my hair who had bald patches, because if you're not taking care of your own life, then why would I hire you? Why would I pay you money and inject you into my life and you don't even have yours together? Is the coach married? Does the coach have the type of family or live the type of lifestyle that you're looking for? Whatever that might be. I said marriage, but whatever your particular goals are. I'm not following anybody who's not doing better than what I want. Not even the minimum, right? I'm not following anybody who's not doing better than me. My business coach is at King Ashley Ann. She is a multi-millionaire. That's who my business coach is, right? I'm not hiring somebody who's making just as much as me without them helping me. That doesn't make any sense. I want to aspire. So there's a lot of analysis and research that you need to do as an individual to decide, one, are you ready to put in the work? Two, do you know what the work is? Have you done the research? Have you listened to this person? Have you looked at their programs? Have you checked out their freebies? Is it in alignment with what you're willing to do? And does that person live the life that you potentially want? Not like on no stalker stuff, but you get my point. All right, beautiful people. At this time, I am going to take someone onto the live. I have a special guest call. So let's see who pops up on the screen and let's see what we're going to talk about today. Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, beautiful.
How are you?
I am good. I am good. Wow.
Excellent.
I've just been on here. I'm drinking my wine. I'm listening to you live. I'm taking notes. I got my notebook and pen, girl, because I'm trying to find someone in alignment. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us who you are, what you do, what's going on.
Yes, so I am Kaylin Madison. I am the creator of the 2222 Divine Alignment Tour. And it is an amazing virtual experience, app-based community for women of color. So if we have some women of color in the audience right now that are not only looking for their partner, but they're also looking to find divine alignment in all of their life, in all areas, then you definitely want to check out the 2222 tour. What we are doing is we are doing 12 weeks. We're breaking down your birth chart. Listen, Alison knows, just like I do, that it's great to do the work. It's great to listen to the lives. But if you don't have an understanding of yourself, then it's going to be really hard to sustain anything that you try to change in your life. And one of the best ways to start to do that is through our birth chart. All of us have zodiac signs, but we're so much bigger than our sun sign. You have a moon placement, a rising placement, a Neptune placement, a Pluto placement. And I get so many clients because what I do is I'm a therapist. I am also a coach, and I help women to redefine their lives, looking at the cosmos, looking at their birth chart, looking at things outside of the social norms, right? To help them to find divine alignment and to upgrade their life. And I realized that, you know, there's so many different parts of us. Of course, people come to me for mental health, but they want to get into relationships. They want to go to Alison. They want to get their physical selves right. They want to go to Morgan, right? They want to find different coaches for different things. Guys, at the 2222 tour, we have got all of the different coaches in various fields that we vetted, like Alison said, you got to make sure that they're right. So I went through, I vetted them, I made sure that they are amazing, and they are all in the Divine Alignment Tour. The year 2022 is all about divine alignment. It's about getting and the right path for yourself. And we give you the tools and the know-how in doing that. And then as the cherry on top, we are meeting in Virginia, April 2022.
Yes.
22. And we are going to have Alison come out, and she's going to show you firsthand, like literally take your hand and show you how to work through online dating, how to work through finding your mate. You get her as your coach, and you also get 12 other women just like her in different fields and different topics to help you through that as well. And then, of course, we're going to wine and dine you. We're going to feed you. You're going to be on the beach on cabanas, you know, and then we're going to do a beautiful ceremony to end it all off. So I'm really excited about it. Alison, do you want to tell them about the free workshop that you're doing in the 2222 tour this Sunday?
Yes, absolutely. So 2 things. Number 1, on Friday first, right?
Yeah.
So on Friday, I'm going to be in Clubhouse. So the Clubhouse is my same name, at Align with Alison. So check me out on Clubhouse. And I'm going to be doing a full-on interview and conversation around not only my background and what I do and how I help people, but also specifically how I'm going to be contributing to this tour in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Okay. So that's going to be on Friday. And then on Sunday, we're going to have a more intimate environment, right? Where I'm going to be doing a training on how you can create your winning dating profile. I do it here in pieces and questions, but this is an opportunity for us to really dive deep on changing our mindset around online dating and really making sure that we're presenting the best version of ourselves. I talk to you guys about this all the time, about being positive, about making sure that you're having clear photos, but this will be an opportunity for us to be a little bit more one-on-one, so I can offer you that support for absolutely free. And that is on Sunday. So how do we get in though? Like, me and you gonna be there, but how do they get in?
Yeah, so you want to click the link in Alison's bio, and it's going to bring you to this beautiful landing page. Put your email in and your name, and then click the submit button, and it's going to bring you right over to the app, and you can download it, you guys. You get it for free for 12 weeks. That's 3 months. You're going to get all this content for free. You're going to be able to come to Alison's workshop for free. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and it's super simple. And again, it's free. And if you guys know Alison, she don't do much for free. Okay.
This is a pretty every thing. Wednesday, I do my service to the community, but this is my profession. And so we have to respect the profession. So you're absolutely right. So y'all get the Wednesdays with me, and we're going to be together Friday on Clubhouse, and we're going to be together on Sunday. So it's absolutely an opportunity for you to squeeze all the freebies you can. Work it, see if it works for you, and then if you still need some more support, then we can talk about that on the side.
Yeah, and if you still need more support, come to Virginia. Come to Virginia, you guys. Right now, we're doing an amazing sale called the Go Best Friend Sale, where you can get 2 tickets for 1 price. And it's the getaway that you've been really needing. You're not just going to go somewhere and, you know, be on a boat and shake your booty and go to the club and drink alcohol. This is the type of getaway. This is the type of vacation that's going to change your life. It is going to help you to get into alignment in every area of your life, you guys. We are doing real healing for women of color. And I'm so passionate about helping us to heal from generational curses, from self-sabotage, from imposter syndrome, from low self-esteem and low confidence, from all the bullshit that life tries to throw at us. I am helping. Me and Alison are coming together and partnering together to give you guys all of the tools and all of the know-hows to help you guys to really like level up and sustain that.
So let me ask you, right? Because in full transparency, I have a lot of people who are in happy relationships who follow me, and they just watch these videos because it's entertaining. So can you tell us about some of the other coaches and some of the other areas that maybe I need to come down for me, but there's some other stuff that needs some improvement?
Absolutely. So this is why I was saying before about your birth chart. And a lot of people come to me in my coaching program and they're like, hey, I don't know what my birth chart is. What does that even mean? This whole zodiac house and stuff. What it means is every single zodiac sign actually represents a different part of our personality. You have the first house, the house of self. How do you perceive yourself? How do other people perceive you? We have the life coach. Her name is April Million. She is amazing at helping you to redefine your brand and your identity. The second house represents value, your money, your coin. Y'all, we have Jasmine Smith. When I tell you this girl can coach you through being able to balance your checkbook and actually be able to capitalize off of your talents and your gifts. She's going to be in the second house teaching you guys how to really understand value and money in a way to make it work for you. We have a licensed clinical therapist that's going to help you learn how your communication styles, right? We develop them when we're children, right? All these different communication styles and how that is affecting you and the way that you communicate with people today. We have Twerk Fit Chick that's representing the fifth house in Leo. She's going to help you to learn how to really connect with your inner divine feminine. You know, a lot of times as women, we're so, you know, we're driven, we're motivated, we're CEOs, we're bosses, right? But there's that inner divine feminine that we need to get back in touch with, and she is amazing at that. I'm just naming off a few. There's 12, so I'll be here all day explaining all of them. But one of my favorites, I will say, is Aisha. She is the owner of Optimum Wellness. Guys, go check her out. She's amazing. She's an herbalist, and she's representing the sixth house in Virgo. And she is going to be teaching you how to learn how your body is communicating with you and how you can communicate back to your body using herbs, specifically your womb, right? Our vagina. Sorry for the men in the room that are like, but look, okay, it's real. It's a real thing. And so she literally is teaching you how to do yoni steams using herbs, using like household herbs that you season your food with, how to mix those together so that you can steam and you can actually detoxify impurities from your womb so that you can be more in divine alignment in your womb. Y'all, this whole tour is nothing to play with, and it's completely free. And we give you guys instant replays for 3 whole months. So you can listen to it while you're in your car. You can listen to it while you're at work. You can write down in your journal, take down all the steps. And every single house comes with its own toolkit guide. So after they get done teaching you and working with you in the workshop, they give you a step-by-step guide of how to implement these practices for each and every house. You're not going to get this anywhere else. You're not going to get Alison and Aisha and Morgan. All of these are like thousands of dollars of coaching. Yep. Okay. These women have taken years to perfect their craft, and they're giving it to you guys for free. And I took on the burden of gathering all of them together, you know, because I truly believe in our community. And I believe that when you uplift other women, you are breaking generational curses. So thank you, Alison, for answering my call and being a part of this amazing event.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for joining us, letting us know about the event. So we are going to be in the building in person. It's going to be the weekend of April 23rd. We're going to be in Virginia Beach. So if you are in the area, come see us. If you're not in the area, fly in, stop playing. You're going to either go to my bio. So click the link in my bio. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. It has a special pink and purple button that says the 2222 tour, or you can go directly to their page. I have it pinned at the bottom, the 2222 tour, and you can get all the deets you need, not only to be a part of the free, which is super valuable, but also please consider coming to the live event. It's going to be even more intense. It's going to be even more valuable. It's going to be just a beautiful connection of women of color who can really start to make some moves and make some changes in every facet of their lives. I got to go. I got a group, and I love you so much. And we'll be seeing each other on Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
Clubhouse.
Peace.
All right. Peace. Bye, everyone.